Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. You know my guest, Christopher Sieber. He's one of Broadway's favorite leading men. Well, now he's back at Fontaine, co-starring opposite Megan Hilty and Jennifer Simard in the hit musical Death Becomes Her, and I caught up with him here at the legendary Sardi's. You are back on Broadway,
I
back
am.
in right around here. Are you at the Lunt?
The old neighborhood.
Let's talk about being a part of Death Becomes Her.
Let's talk about it.
What's it like living in that incredible world?
Well, yeah. I mean, the cool thing is I'm back at the Fontaine Theater, which is one of my favorite theaters. And it is where my husband and I met, Kevin Burrows, and I met during Beauty and the Beast that was there. And so I'm now in the floor below where was my old dressing room at the Lunt, which is nicer. Yeah, so we're doing Death Becomes Her now at the Fontaine Theater, and it is a gigantic, campy, absurd comedy world that we live in, and I'm working with three powerful, incredibly funny, hilarious women. Jennifer Simard, who is basically my show wife now. You know, we just do everything together constantly, but we've known each other for 30 years. I mean, we go back so far. The amazing, lovely Megan Hilty, who has always been a friend, but this is our first time ever really actually doing anything together. And then Michelle Williams, the amazing Michelle Williams with that crazy voice of hers. And so I am in the midst of these three extremely funny, powerful women, and I learned early on, just get out of their way. And so that's what I do. I get out of the way, and now I'm kind of making my way back into the show. But it's honor and a pleasure and a privilege to just be able to be at the Fontaine Theater again, and actually, because our show is so funny, to be able 8 times a week to make 1,500 people laugh 8 times a week, especially in the world that it is now. It's a crazy world. For 2 hours, 25 minutes, you can forget everything, because we will make you forget everything, because you can't help but forget everything when you come see us, because you're going to be laughing your head off.
Okay, now,
and I don't say that lightly, because I've done a lot of comedies, and this is one of the funniest shows I've ever done. I've done many readings and many workshops of new shows, and I've never, in the first 2-3 songs of a reading, stopped a show. I've never seen anything like that. And we stopped the show at a reading, and we were like, oh, I think we're going to be all right. I think this is something. And then Chris Gattelli, our amazing choreographer director, said, do you guys want to do this? And we're like, yeah, yes, we do. And the entire process has been extremely collaborative, which was so nice. We had crazy ideas. Gattelli had crazy ideas. Noel and Julia had crazy ideas, and none of them were like, no. We tried everything, and what you see on stage is a wonderful collaborative effort from absolutely everybody. So, it's pretty amazing, and I've been in a lot of shows, and I'm grateful for that. And the last time I ever had a feeling about a show that I'm doing was Spamalot, and where you knew right away in like your first preview out of town in Chicago that we did it. This is going to be something. This is going to be something, and it is something. And but the last time I had that feeling was with Spamalot. Was like, oh wow, this is something.
All right, talk about who you play and what you love about him. What a fabulous character you play. What a great role.
It is great. I mean, because we had the movie, we had the template from the movie. So, and Bruce Willis was amazing in that. And so we can't be them. So Marco was great, and Gattelli was great about just letting us, no, just do what you do, and we can make our own world here with the same story, and that's what we did. Ernest, I will say, the hardest person to play on stage is someone who's a real person. Yeah. That's a hard part. A funny person, that's not funny. And Ernest is not funny at all. He's beige. He is so beige. And apparently that's my niche now, because Trent Oliver too. Trent Oliver was like the most boring person. But that is funny to me. And if you notice on stage, when you go see the show, every single person on that stage is sparkling. Yeah. Sparkling, except Ernest. Yeah. Because he's so beige. He is the one thing that does not stand out. Because of that, he does stand out. Yeah. Because he's so like, what the hell is happening? And so but he doesn't realize right away that he is a pawn. He doesn't realize that, and he's just a tool of revenge on both sides. He doesn't really realize that until, Act 2, when it all goes crazy. So balancing all of these different aspects of, the dynamics of him realizing what's happening, and it all comes to a head in Act 2. To find that without being crazy, because I believe Ernest is kind of what the audience can look at as like, do you know what's going on? Because he doesn't. The world is going crazy to him, and he doesn't know what's happening. But it is fun to play boring people.
And I love it. Beige.
Beige. And Ernest is beige. Ernest is a boring person. And which I think is hilarious. Because when there's boring people who do boring things, that is hilarious to me. And I am able to find the way that it is funny. So Ernest is one of my. People ask me, what is your favorite character that you've ever played? And it's always the one I'm doing. And I really do love Ernest. I feel so bad for him because he is just, he's an innocent victim of these two crazy women characters.
It's funny, when I walk down the street after coming out of a show that I go, I'll walk by your theater and the doors open and people just come out with these smiles on their faces of saying, I want to go back and see it again.
Yeah, there's something to be said about people may not remember what you said. It's Maya Angelou's. I'm probably paraphrasing, but what you may not remember what you said.
Yeah.
People may not remember what you did, but they will always remember the way you made them feel. And everyone coming out of our show feels amazing and feels great and feels uplifted and feels satisfied and feels like, oh, what a relief, what a release. That's great. So, and I am so grateful that I have not heard from anyone that, well, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Everyone loves the show, and I'm so grateful to be part of it.